Welcome to Chapter 10. Chapter 10 is huge. I always found that 2 class periods wasn't quite enough. So we'll see what we can do. So this is communication in close relationships. Sometimes it's what we might call intimate relationships. And before we get started, I want you to write down three people, a friend, a family member, and a romantic partner, people with whom you have close relationships. And then what I want you to do is evaluate them on a 1 through 4 scale, with 1 being not very much and 4 being very much, on these 4 dimensions of intimacy: physical, intellectual, emotional, and shared activities. Okay, so let's say I will take my good friend. Physical, she's a hugger. I am not. I'd say we have a 2. Intellectual, that's what we talk about a lot. That's probably a 3. Emotional is definitely a 4. That's pretty much the primary part of our relationship. Shared activities, when we're not sheltering in place, I'd say it's a 3. Now I could look at another good friend of mine, and I'd say physical, still the same, it's a 2. Intellectual, it's a 4. We like to talk about ideas. Emotional is also a 4. Shared activities, I'd say it's a 3. So some relationships have all 4 dimensions. Some relationships exhibit only 1 or 2, does not mean they are not close relationships. And this ties into something that's called the Dunbar Number. I think it was the 90s, Robin Dunbar, who's an anthropologist in England, was looking at primates, monkeys, and the size of their groups. And he came up with this idea that our brain size has something to do with the number of people that we can we can handle in our social network. And they're really 2 numbers. He said most humans can have about 150 people in their social network, and but it can go, maybe it's more like a range from like 100 to 200, and more recent research has suggested that it could be much larger than that, 500, and that's just, I can't even imagine being connected to 500 people. I'm hyperventilating thinking about that. But in terms of people that we can really be close to, he has said the number is 5. If this is something, and I mean, people dispute this, but if this is something that you're interested in, go online and type in Dunbar Number, and there's tons of articles on it, and you can see what's what. This might be a good topic for a journal for chapter 10, 9 or 10. 10 or 11? 9 or 10. Okay. Next slide, we're going to get to communication in friendship. And I wanted to let you know that all of the pictures from now on are somehow pictures that are related to me. A lot of old pictures. This happens to be a picture of the little boy that my daughter nannied. He has a Olivia the Pig doll, and he's reading to her an Olivia the Pig story, which I got him that for Christmas. I thought it was so cute. I had to share it with everyone. Okay, this is a huge section, although the families is even larger. So I think after, I might have to break partway through. Let's see. Okay. Yes, this is me and some of my friends on the track team from when I was in college. I'll give you extra credit if you could figure out which one is me. No, only joking. Okay, so what is a friendship? And the book defines it as a voluntary relationship that provides social support. This is different from family. Families, you have no choice. They're your family. Friends, you get to choose. Now, it is possible that you can also be friends with people in your family. I say that my sisters and I, most of them, I have 4 of them, we're friends. And I'll get more into that later. Okay. And the crucial idea is that friendships are created through communication, and they're also managed and maintained through communication. If there's no communication, where's the relationship? Okay. So types of friendship. What I want you to do is write down the names of 3 people that you consider friends. And they can be Yeah, just 3 people that you consider friends, and you're going to evaluate them. You're going to say, was this a short-term friendship or a long-term friendship? Meaning, this is someone you were friends with since you were in kindergarten? Is this someone that you just met last semester? Then you could look at the idea of, is it task-oriented or maintenance-oriented? So if you've got friends that really all you do is I don't know, play Dungeons and Dragons together, or you get together to go shopping, that's a task-oriented friendship. A maintenance-oriented friendship is one where you probably have a lot of things that you do together. Okay, low versus high disclosure. Are these people ones that you would disclose a lot of information to or not much? The high versus low, or low versus high obligation is, my sister always used to say that a true friend is someone that you could call at 2 a.m. and say, I need you to come to New York City with 20 pounds of bananas. And you would do that with no questions asked. I don't know, I'll just Venmo you the money. But okay, so that might be low obligation. So, and the next one is infrequent versus frequent contact. And think not during these times, but generally. So you might see that there's a connection, that maybe if it's a task-oriented friendship, it's relatively low disclosure and low obligation. But it's just interesting to see how these aspects of friendships can connect with each other. All right. The next one, looking at friendship, gender, and communication, I'm tempted to say just read the book 295 to 297, but oh, shoot, I always forget to minimize that. Okay, never mind. So they say that usually the first friend that we had was a friend that was of the same sex as us, and this is the same thing whether people are gay or straight. They say communication differs for men and women, but later in the chapter they say maybe not so much. In fact, if you're interested, the focus on research on page 295 tells you a little bit more about how men and women might communicate differently in friendship. Cross-sex friendship. So this is a really bad, because it's really old, picture of me and my friend Todd. We were getting married. I'm wearing a tablecloth and holding, I don't know what kind of flowers. I have to minimize. Okay. And we were in kindergarten together, and we were good friends throughout pretty much throughout high school, but I haven't seen him in 30 years. Okay. So cross-sex friendships offer benefits, but can present challenges because of the potential for romance, which leads into the topic of friends with benefits. And I mean, you probably know more about friends with benefits than I do, so read the book. There is a great, there's a video called Science of Connection, Can Men and Women Just Be Friends? That is up in the videos for chapter 10 that you might want to take a look at. Okay. My feeling is if you have questions about this section, why don't you, I'll put a discussion board for things that you need more information on. Okay. This is also something else that it's probably you know more than I do, how you're using social networking to maintain current friendships. And so my question is, has this changed because we're in our shelter in place, or has it intensified? So think about that. The last one is 11 components of communication in successful friendships. Again, in normal times when we can see each other, would you say that you and your good friends share joys and sorrows? Are you sharing laughs and memories? Are you listening? Confidence. When you look at this list of 11, which ones would you say are, if someone transgressed, what would be the biggest problem? Like if someone refused to help you move, they didn't lend a helping hand, or someone said they were going to do something and then they didn't. Which of these are unbreakable for you, and that maybe would cause the friendship to terminate. Okay, so this is the end of communicating in friendships.